Folks, how you doing? How's it going? Not here to do any hobby nightmares today. This is more of a personal video and one that I've been putting off for quite a while because every time this crisis rears its head, I and I are about doing this video and I settle on not doing it, mainly because the crisis in question goes away and resolves itself. But today it hasn't done that, and I thought that even if it does very late on in the day today, I'm still going to post this video because I think it's about time that I did, in all honesty. So here is my video on why I'm asking for your help in, the future, deciding the future of the Northern Exile channel and where we're going to go together, because we are in this together in one way or another. So this, as in YouTube for me, started out as a hobby, and when I became monetized, YouTube was about 10% of the money I made over a month. So when I took home my paycheck from all the different things that I do, teaching being one of them, YouTube was about 10% of that paycheck. So I wasn't getting paid very much, right? As the channel has grown, this number has climbed to around 45 to 50% of my monthly income that is now from YouTube, from this channel, and ad revenue, and things like that, which is great. It's great that, growth has meant that, I'm able to pay off some bills and take care of my family with some of the money that I get from YouTube. It's wonderful, right? The issue that I have with what is happening with the channel right now is that YouTube takes a lot more time to write, record, and read through possible nightmares and researching the topics that I'm going to do for 40k rants. It takes a lot more time to do that than prepping a session, than prepping a lesson, right? Or editing a few chapters of a book. This means that whilst I only make 45% of my money on YouTube, I spend upwards of about 60 to 70% of my time on my working week making these videos for YouTube. So I spend a large percentage of my working week only making around half the money. But I'm fine with that. But you are all smart, and I'm sure you can see the issue here, especially when we look at this. This is something that I wanted to show you a little while ago, but I didn't for several reasons. But here we go. Here is my current channel, and here you can see all the lovely bits and bobs that have been going on. This is a screen that not a lot of you would see because you are you're not on YouTube, right? But it's a pretty cool screen where you get to see all the videos and how they're doing and stuff. And as you can see, I recorded this earlier on in the week than today, which is Thursday. And you will see monetization is on for all of my videos, right? Not a problem being shown here. All lovely stuff. The issue is these two limited ones here. What limited ad revenue, what limited monetization means is that YouTube don't think that my content is safe for all advertisers. And that is something that they're completely within their rights to state. Absolutely, And what happens then when I get one of these limited notifications is that I submit a review request. Basically, I ask YouTube to send this to somebody who is human, who then takes one look at the video, and every single time I've done this, they've released it for full monetization. And said, yeah, it's fine. In fact, it's really nice content. Carry on, right? Issue is, well, what I started to do, and what I have started to do, is, as you can see here, is I record my videos 24 hours before they go live. And that's to make sure that if this does happen, then I have time to submit my review, and YouTube has time to submit their findings where they say, this video is good to go, you're allowed to earn full ad revenue. Normally that takes around 20 hours. I have experienced. Let's just refresh this. Yeah, it's still limited. Normally that takes about 20 hours for me, for them to come back to me. Today, I recorded this Games Workshop Manager Simps for Awful Customer. I recorded this on Sunday. It is now 10 to 6 on Monday. We are 20 minutes away from this video premiering, and it is still limited, which means I will earn a very small, minuscule amount from ad revenue on this video. That means I've worked sourcing these nightmares, reading them, making sure that they're able to be read out, putting them in a format that I can read them out, and then reading them out, which takes 2-3 hours maybe. Those 2-3 hours I'm now not getting paid for. And, as a As somebody who does private tutoring, you will know, and if you are a private tutor, you will know this, private tutors like myself charge upwards of £35 to £50 an hour for tutoring, because we have the qualifications to do so, and the experience, and the contacts, and the customer reviews to do so. Right? I'm earning nothing for those 3 hours, when I could have been doing lessons, I could have been doing other things, and that's the issue we're facing here. So if YouTube are tardy in the way that they give me back my videos, and they always do, this is not a problem with the content. I have had videos that have been completely clean with no swearing and no controversial subjects that have still been limited by the algorithm, which doesn't know what it's doing. It's a bad tool created by people who don't know how to code properly. Okay, and that's why we're in this situation. It wrongly flags my content as something that it's not. My content is safe for all advertisers. Even when we talk about really heavy subjects, I use stand-in words like self-deletion and things like that. At least when I can. Sometimes I slip here and there, but it's always 30 or so minutes into a video when I'm tired, right? Which doesn't really count, because it only counts the first 10 or so minutes of your video. So, this is an issue. As you can tell, this is an issue, because I don't know, man. Let me just say, if this carries on, I'm just going to take this off for a second, so I can concentrate on looking at it. Let's look at a few scenarios. Like, you're all smart, and I'm sure you can see the issue here. That's how limited revenue works on videos when it comes in, right? I'm essentially, things aren't going well in that case. Let's look at a few scenarios here. The first scenario I want to look at is the worst one. And that is a scenario in which YouTube keeps doing this and is very tardy with its release of my videos for full monetization. Again, if they release my video 2 days after it's gone live, cool, sucks to be me, I'm still not making any ad revenue. Why? Because your video makes most of its ad revenue in the first 24 to 48 hours. Mainly in the first 24 hours. By the way, YouTube still take their cut. They still make the same amount of ad revenue. They've just decided to punish me because they don't think that my content is supposed to be seen by, you know, most advertisers. But they still make their cut. They don't care. They still make their cut. They just tell me that I can't make mine. Yeah. So, the worst scenario is that YouTube keeps doing this and is tardy with its release of my videos for full monetization. This will mean I make about 50% of what I usually make thanks to their mistakes in limiting my advertisement status. Looking back at the figures from before, that would mean I'm spending around 60% of my working week, and probably more to be honest, trying to earn 25% of my pay for that month. As you can all surmise without my help, this is not sustainable. Not with a young family to look after. If this occurred, I would definitely wind back the amount of videos that I make. That is not something I can leave up for debate. If this occurred, I would definitely wind back the amount of videos that I make. I never want to hold my own content to ransom. I'm simply saying and stating that working that much for half of my pay, or not even that, is something I cannot justify to my family. Nor should I even try to do that, right? I can't go to my family and say, I spend 60 to 70% of my working week earning 25% of my paycheck because I like messing around on YouTube. I can't do that, and I won't do that. For all I know, this situation could be resolved. It has in the past, right? I will fully admit that. Like, I've recorded this video many times when the situation has resolved itself, and it has done in the past, right? So, you know, I'm not saying it's going to carry on, but I also don't really see a point in putting off this video any longer. I've recorded this video several times and never uploaded it. But now I'm doing it regardless of whether the situation rights itself or not. Because I would rather ask for help now than wait until a year down the line if this carries on, and then panic about if I can keep going at the pace I'm going on YouTube or not, whether it's sustainable, right? I love doing this, and I want to make my financial dependency and I want to take it away from YouTube, so this is not a stick that they can beat me with. I want to make the content you like, in the way that you like it. I'd rather be beholden to you, the viewer, the subscriber, and hobby bro, than a faceless corporation that can tank half my paycheck at a moment's notice for any reason, and most of the time, they'll never give you one. This is why I ask you, dear viewer, if you are there, listening to me still, ranting away, this is why I ask you, if I've ever helped you, if you like my content, to do one of the following, if you are able. The first doesn't cost you a penny, right? Subscribe to Northern Exile Gaming, because the quicker I can get monetization on that channel, the quicker I can start having my finger in more pies and having, you know, some more fun out there, right? Having some more fun with people. It is a gaming channel where I generally do video games. We've just finished playing through Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. I'm about to start doing Dragon Age Origins tonight. There are rants on here. There's one about Dragon Age. There's one about the Ghost of Tsushima. One about BioWare. There's one about Dragon Age Origins coming up today. That's going to be released today in about an hour or two. And the quicker we get monetization on there, we're not very far away from it, the quicker I can start, you know, pushing, you know, spreading myself a bit further across the internet, across YouTube, and doing things that earn me money in different ways. If you want to support me and do it for free, liking the videos there, subscribing to the channel Northern Exile Gaming, and essentially bumping me up the algorithm there is a really good way to do it if you want to do something for free. Alright? That is something that you can do for free. If you'd like to, again, if you're one of these people who says, look, I've got money to spare, I want to help you out, I want to do some things, well, one other thing you can do is support me over on Patreon, and that is over here. We have a wonderful community there of guys and girls who are all really, really, really nice, and they're just wonderful people, and I love doing things for them. I speak to them at least a couple of times a week. I will answer community questions and personal messages and things. If you want to speak to me, person on person, this is probably the place to do it. You go on to Patreon and look for Northern Exile. The link will be in the description down below, and you can support me on there doing it that way. Become a member of the channel. You can also, on YouTube, it is down below, you can become a member of the channel, and that means that you are providing monetary benefit to the channel, and that's it. And YouTube can't touch that. It can't touch my Patreon, and it can't touch my memberships. That's mine. That's my money that goes into the coffers, and YouTube don't get to mess with it. That's what I want to do. I want to take my financial dependency in this job that I'm doing, right, away from them as a corporation that can screw me over at any time, and move it to you. So you know what I'm doing. I'm working for you. I'd rather work for you than this faceless corporation that seems to take much glee in taking away my money. And I don't think they're doing it on purpose. Before anybody gets into any sort of conspiracy theories, I don't for 1 second think that people are targeting a YouTube channel with 20-odd thousand subscribers. Don't be silly, right? This is just a bad algorithm that doesn't work. That's all it is. It's a bad algorithm that doesn't work, that literally screws people like me. That's all it is. But in doing so, I would quite like to tell him to go away, and I can now do, you know, and I can make the content I want to make. Quite a lot of the time when I'm doing this content, I have to dumb down what I'm saying, and I have to pull back what I'm saying and not really go with the flow, because I'm trying to be a good boy. I'm trying not to swear. I'm trying not to do things that could get me limited in my ad revenue. And if I'm able to pull away from ad revenue a little bit, still get my ad revenue, but able to move my dependency away from it, I can say whatever I want. And I can do more content about whatever I want. I can gauge your opinions, because you'll be the ones who are paying me. I'll be able to say to you, like, guys, what do you want to see next? Instead of me sitting here on a Sunday or a Saturday, writing up scripts and deciding what to cover in 40k rants, you can tell me what to cover. You can tell me to go, hey, we're the Patreons, and we voted that you're going to do some more Xenos lore. We're going to send you in some Xenos lore, and you're going to read it for us and critique it for us. Great, no problem. Yeah. North, do the Exile verse. The reason I haven't done the Exile verse in 40k is because it's such a massive project that'll take such a vast amount of time that I can't afford to do. Because if I release those videos, and either they don't do well in views, or they get demonetized, which is very likely, I won't make any money for that vast amount of time that I put into that project. Do you know what I mean? The amount of times I get asked to do these projects, and I think, oh, that'd be so amazing to do, and I can't. I can't, because it would take away earning time from teaching and from editing and doing all the other things that I like to do to make sure that I've got money to pump into the family coffers, right? So, those are the main reasons why I've asked you to do what I've asked you to do in terms of supporting me on Patreon. Now, this is why I ask you to do that. But please, 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 the last thing I want to talk about in this video, please only give what you can afford to give me 10 times. Only give me what you can afford to lose. So, if you can afford to give me $10 or £10, only give me one. Seriously, that is a rule I want everybody to abide by. If there is a choice between supporting me and doing anything else that's worthwhile with you or your family that makes you happy, then do that other thing. Don't give me any money. But if you have it spare and can go without that one chocolate bar or a quarter of an overpriced coffee once a month, kick it to your old pal North, if you like what I do. Because this is where I want to take us from now on. I don't want to rely on these people anymore. I can't. Right? I literally can't rely on these people anymore. Okay? Because I won't live like this. I won't live constantly refreshing this page. Right? It's just not great. Right? We just got that video back there. See that video? We just got that back. We got that back at 1804. At 1804. The video premieres in 10 minutes. Would you want to live like that? I don't. I don't, guys. I really don't. It's not something that I want to do. You know, I want to enjoy this. I don't want to be watching my app every 5 minutes just to check if YouTube have found a way to look at my video yet. You know, all of these, at least a few of these, I've lost complete money on because they've not released it in time. You know, or they have released it in time, but it's on the second day. Do you know what I mean? So that I lose a good 50% of my top rated video time. I don't know. It's just not great. So I love your long time. I love that you got to see that in real time as well, by the way. This is what we're doing. It is 1805. 1805. And here we are, 10 minutes away. And only now has it released that video. I know full well that lovely video without a circle that I spent ages on, right? That is going to get... because it's a longer video, it takes longer for them to check. That will not make me any money. This other video down here that we saw... this other... Where is it? Where is he? Outer Circle, where are you? This other Outer Circle video, again, 7,000 views made me next to no money. You know what I mean? Like, it's not making anything. Because it gets limited, and that's it. It gets limited. So, again, they give me it back eventually. And this is the first time in a while where they've almost missed the deadline. Almost. But I'm sure you can understand how I don't want to live. I literally don't want to be... I was in the gym before with my heart in my mouth, thinking, okay, if this carries on, what am I going to do? Because it's not just me I'm thinking about anymore. I'm thinking about my family. I'm thinking about the house. I'm thinking about, you know, things for my daughter, veterinary bills, all, you know, council tax, all these other things that I'm having to take on board. And I don't want to be coming into YouTube with that kind of a mentality. I love doing this. You guys make this possible for me. You know, I'm getting a bit emotional. Yeah, you really do, man. You all mean the world to me. You really do, and it. Whenever I get a good email saying, look, you know, you did this for me, or you really helped me out, and it really lights a fire under me, and I just, I will never abandon you all. I will never stop doing content, right? It's just, if this carried on to the point where YouTube, and apparently it does. This is another thing. I speak to other creators who've had this happen to them, and it does. Eventually, YouTube start to lose patience, and they go, do you know what? Bump this guy down the list. We're always having to manually review his videos. So instead of it taking 1 day, it starts taking 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. And once you get into that, you lose all your ad revenue. Because, you know, and I'm seeing the pattern emerge, and I don't want to go down that road. I just don't. I don't want to make less content. I love doing it too much. But I also will always put my family first, and will put my bills first, and my financial stability first, as I have to do as a responsible adult. So that is where we are. That is where we are, and that's what I want to do. I want to start pushing away from YouTube and doing things my own way. I love YouTube, and again, this is no... YouTube aren't doing this on purpose. This is an algorithm that doesn't work, but I still have to look at other means, because YouTube will always make their money on my videos. Even if they say you've got limited ad revenue, they will always make their money on my videos. So they're fine. But I've got to look after me as well. So if you've got it spare, if you've got it there to give or to do whatever you want to do with it, then I'm there. But please only give what you can afford to give 10 times, because it's not worth supporting me when you've got to support yourself and your family. And even if it's a choice between getting a model and supporting me, dude, get the model. Get the model. Be happy. The best thing you can do for me is be happy. Alright? That's all you need to do. But if you got it spare and you're thinking, literally, I can go without that, I don't know, Mars bar or Snickers or whatever for the day, then maybe kick it my way. Maybe. If you like what I do. If you think I'm worth it, there you go. But if you don't ask, you don't get. So I hope none of you are offended by what I've said or what I've asked for. But again, lads, if you don't ask, and ladies, if you don't ask, you don't get. That's where we are. I love you all a long time. I will speak to you a bit later on in the week for a bit more Hobby Nightmares on Friday. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll speak to you then. Have a good one. Bye now.